Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in again. And before we dive into today's hot topic, don't forget, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell so you never miss a new video. And if you enjoy today's discussion, give this video a thumbs up. Today we're talking about something that sparks endless debates among dog owners. The infamous retractable leash, also known as the Flexi leash. Some people love it, others absolutely hate it, and there are even voices saying, "These things should be banned." But why is that? What makes the retractable leash so popular, yet so controversial? Let's break it all down. How it all started. The invention of the retractable leash. Before we go into pros and cons, let's take a quick trip back in time. The retractable leash was invented in the early 1970s by a man named Manfred Bogdan. The story is actually kind of charming. Bogdan was out walking his dog Purcell in Hamburg when inspiration suddenly struck. He rushed home, built the first prototype, at that time still made of wood, and the rest is history. Today, retractable leashes are made of plastic and have been sold millions of times all around the world. They're considered one of those classic German inventions that you'll spot anywhere dogs are being walked. But with that popularity came criticism, and it hasn't stopped since. Why retractable leashes divide opinion? Here's the core issue. Retractable leashes give dogs a lot of freedom, depending on the model, up to 30 feet. For dogs, that's a dream. They can sniff, explore, and move around more freely compared to a standard 6-foot leash. For owners, it also feels convenient. With just one click, you can lock the length. The leash rolls back automatically, and it feels less messy in your hands. But, and here's the catch, trainers and dog psychologists often hear heated comments about them. From "these are garbage" to "they should be banned." The reactions are extreme. Others swear by them. So why such a divide? Which dogs shouldn't use retractable leashes? Experts agree. Retractable leashes are not suitable for every dog. Here's why. Small dogs. This might sound strange, but the mechanism can pull too strongly, putting unnecessary pressure on the little dog. Very large dogs. On the flip side, with powerful dogs, these leashes are often impractical and hard to control. Reactive dogs. Dogs that lunge at triggers like joggers, cyclists, or other dogs. If they hit the end of the line, things can turn dangerous fast, for both dog and owner. Leash training. If you're working on proper leash manners, forget about retractables. They don't allow for precise or gentle corrections, which are essential in training. A dog trainer sums it up. "I don't have anything against retractable leashes, as long as the dog knows a reliable stop and can orient themselves to the owner. Otherwise, it quickly becomes risky." The everyday dangers. Now let's get into the biggest issue, risks. Retractable leashes can be dangerous, not just for dogs, but for people too. Injuries to the dog. If a dog suddenly runs and hits the end of the leash, the impact can cause neck and back problems. Vets see this more often than you'd think. Injuries to the owner. That thin cord can wrap around fingers or legs in a split second, causing rope burn, cuts, or even dislocated joints. Trip hazards. In cities, dogs on retractables often zigzag across sidewalks, a nightmare for other pedestrians. If the handle drops, this one is underestimated. If the heavy plastic handle slips out of your hand, many dogs panic at the sudden clattering sound and bolt, which can end tragically if they run into the street. One dog psychologist put it bluntly, At some point, the handle will fall. It happens quickly, and in the worst case, you end up with a dead dog. The question of where to use them. So where do retractable leashes make sense? And where don't they? In cities, they're often banned because leash laws usually require a maximum length of around 6 feet. Plus, with all the people, cyclists, and cars, they're simply too dangerous. In open spaces, though, it can be different. If the dog has a solid recall, good impulse control, and the handler knows what they're doing, a retractable leash can give a dog more freedom without being completely off leash. Why retractable leashes have such a bad reputation? So why do these leashes have such a negative image? The main reason is misuse. Too many owners rely on the leash instead of actual training. A dog trainer puts it like this: retractable leashes encourage laziness in owners. And that's the real issue. Instead of teaching leash manners, people just clip on the Flexi leash and let the device do the work. But dogs need guidance, structure, and clear communication, things no gadget can replace. Conclusion: so, are retractable leashes evil plastic devices? Not quite. They can be useful, under the right conditions, for the right dog, and in the right setting. But they can also quickly become dangerous when used carelessly. My advice: if you're thinking about using a retractable leash, first ask yourself, does it fit my dog? For small, very large, or reactive dogs, probably not. Is my dog reliable with recall? Do I know how to handle the leash correctly? If the answer is yes, then maybe it can be a good tool. And that's our deep dive into the world of retractable leashes. Now I want to hear from you. Do you use one yourself, or do you avoid them at all costs? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm really curious to see your experiences. If you are looking for the right leash for your dog, then take a look at our shop. Our leashes are made from climbing-grade rope and built to last. And with the code YouTube35, you get a full 35% off your purchase, except for sales products. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit the bell, so you'll never miss another video on dog breeds, pet health, and more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Woof!